twice. Frick. I am clearly catching something from all the snow we've gotten recently. Is that gonna stop me from hosting? Absolutely not. Hey kiddos, welcome back to my YouTube channel and to another episode of Thinking Like a Taurus, the podcast where we hustle hard and eat Doritos. I love Doritos. Excuse how nasally I sound. We've had a lot of snow where I live recently, and I've been working a lot, so clearly my immune system is shot. I look like I'm catching either allergies or a cold because I'm like squinting a lot. I took an allergy pill. Will it kick in by the time I finish this video? Probably not, but we will see. We are at the end of February. Good Lord, I cannot believe that. I mean, we got a couple days until the end of it, but you know, a couple days can go by really quickly. This month was quite an interesting one, and it's the shortest month of the year, so I mean, how much can you really say about it? I mean, let's go ahead and talk about it in our weekly update. First of all, before I start updating you on everything that's happened between the last couple of weeks, I wanted to say, if you follow my TikTok, I'm sorry I kind of disappeared for a bit. Like I said, I've been working a lot and I've been doing like a lot of stuff. I've been balancing school, work, and this YouTube channel, and so I've been trying so hard to find a moment to where I can edit a TikTok and post it, even though editing a TikTok takes less than 45 minutes for me. So I really have no excuse. I'm sorry. I will get more Lavender content out to you, but for right now, while you're waiting, you can go ahead and check out Lavender's backstory. I mean, come on. I promote it in every video. I gotta fill it in at least somewhere. Also, guys, look at my hair. Straight up, the day after I curl it and after I sleep with the curls in, I look like Lord Farquaad. It's bad. But it's okay. Freaking rock the Lord Farquaad haircut. What have I done this week? Oh, my mom and I finally watched Disenchanted, the second Enchanted movie. That was awesome. I don't do any spoilers here, so don't panic, but my mom and I finally watched it because I grew up on the Enchanted movie. I was always super big on that movie. We listened to the soundtrack 24/7. We worked it into our conversations, me and my mom. So when Disenchanted finally came out, we were like, oh, we're watching that, obviously. I liked it. I liked it. It definitely worked as like a really good part 2 from the original movie, because a lot of sequels tend to be like their own story, like their own different side of the original plot style, if that's an easy way to say it. For example, like Friday the 13th. Okay, the first one and the second one clearly had some kind of part 1 and part 2 elements, but it really kind of ventured off into a completely different story with the same like antagonist. The film nerds coming out real quick. But you know, Disenchanted and Enchanted, they definitely worked as like a really good part 1 and part 2, because it moves along the timeline rather than just coming up with somebody else having the same experience and then meeting up with the original main character and they become friends. It wasn't like that. It was definitely a good part 1 and part 2. Like the first one, Giselle comes to New York and she learns the ways of the city and all of that. And then in the second one, this is after all of that. After she lives in New York for a while and things like that. So it's definitely a good part 2. I liked a lot of the graphics. Obviously, we have much better editing softwares now because, you know, we come up with better technology. So I really liked some of the scenes, and, you know, it's enchanted, it's disenchanted, so there's a lot of glitter. a lot of glitter. But I think they did a pretty good job. And, of course, Idina Menzel is literal goddess. My mom was like, all I hear is Elsa, since that's what she's pretty well known for is Elsa. And she's like, all I hear is Elsa singing. And I'm like, you hear Elsa. I hear Elsa in certain parts. Other parts, I hear Elphaba from Wicked. I was like, I hear both. She's pretty iconic in both roles. So when she's like normal, like conversation singing and lyrics type of thing, I hear Elsa. But when she's belting, I hear Elphaba. That's what I heard in most of it. So I bounced between characters, but honestly, she really sells this character as well. She's a great actress. I love her. I love Idina Menzel so much. She's on my list of Broadway actresses that I would like to meet is Idina Menzel. Staying on the Disney topic, I also rewatched all of the Descendants movies. That was definitely a lot of fun. I've always loved Descendants since it first came out. And when did it come out? So the first Descendants movie came out in 2015, and Descendants, the first film, definitely has like a core memory with me because I watched it when my family and I went to go to Disneyland. When we went to go to Disneyland, I watched that movie like 4 times in the car. I loved that movie. That one and Home. So Descendants and Home is what I watched on my entire trip. So both of those are like core memory movies, but Descendants specifically, I own 3 out of 4 of the books. I watched all the movies. I watched the shorts, everything like that. And of course, Cameron Boyce freaking broke my heart when that happened in 2019. So Descendants is definitely a really big part of me and who I am. I always wanted to be Mal growing up. I always liked her. I always related to her. And I think that sparked the addiction to purple hair. I actually did have Mal purple hair at one point, and I really want to get back to that color. I might do that again. But yeah, so I think she sparked my addiction to purple. Her and my mom. My mom loves purple. And it's never ended since then. But I love Mal. I will always forever love all the characters. Evie was great. I was like, I relate to Mal the most, but I have a little bit of Evie, so I'm like they're like another timeline child. Cuz like I inherited the creativity and the like fashion type of deal from Evie, and then like the not caring what other people think kind of thing from Mal, and then of course the addiction to purple. But I just, and then Dove Cameron, don't get me started. I love Dove Cameron so much. So Descendants is great. I feel like the storyline is definitely really good at like grabbing people and holding their attention, because you start with like villains' kids. You don't think about the villains having children, but yet there they are. Everyone's got kids now. I like how Descendants is like I wouldn't really call it twisted, just more of like an altered parallel universe type of thing of the regular Disney stories that a lot of people grew up with. Speaking of twisted Disney stories, I'm going to introduce a brand new segment to this podcast. Brand new as in I literally came up with it just the other day. I like reading a lot, actually. I'm a pretty big reader, sort of now, more now than before. But I discovered a book series that is really awesome, and I can't wait to read all of it. But this new segment I am calling What Are You Reading? So What Are You Reading is where I get to talk about whatever book series, graphic novel, whatever I've been really into lately. And for this one, we're going to be talking about Disney Twisted Tales. I discovered this book series at Barnes & Noble, and I immediately bought one of the books. My favorite Disney movies of all time are Wreck-It Ralph, Alice in Wonderland, Tangled, and Frozen. I like all of those. Oh, and Princess and the Frog, that one too. So when I discovered that they make twisted, dark tales of these Disney stories that I'm obsessed with, I was like, must read right now. I'm also really addicted to like the horror genre. I love horror movies so much, but I can never play horror games, I swear. It's a problem. But I'm addicted to horror movies and watching other people play horror games, and I even listen to scary stories whenever I'm at work because it's better than any podcast you've ever heard, except for this one. Don't twist that. Disney Twisted Tales has a lot of like the classics that we have and some relatively new ones too. And they're still being released, by the way. There's still more coming out, and I'm so excited, dude. I currently own 2 of the stories, and I plan on getting so many more. All the stories are written by different people, and the one that I've been reading currently, as in like currently I'm literally 30% of the way through the book, is the Tangled one, What Once Was Mine. This is thick. This is a thick book compared to a different one. The other one that I own is Conceal Don't Feel. It's on a shelf right now. I just didn't feel like getting it. Conceal Don't Feel, so it's the Frozen one. And they all are what ifs. They all are what if stories, and I really like those because I tend to think that way, is like, what if this happened instead? So What Once Was Mine is basically, what if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? And it's really good. It's good if you've already seen the movie, because if you've already seen the movie and you know exactly how the story goes, like I am with Tangled, I'm reading this book and I'm seeing all of these like differences, and I'm like, this is wild. It's so, there's new things happening that wasn't in there before. And then you start thinking, well, where is this character? What happens now since this didn't happen? Why is this different? You know? So it really keeps you thinking, and you're like, what kind of routes is this person going to take to change the story, but still have it? I don't even know how the ending's going to work, because I already know some elements in this book. A lot of them aren't the same as the original, obviously. The key thing is that Rapunzel's hair is silver, not gold. That's literally all I'm saying. I told you we aren't doing any spoilers, but this book is incredible. So that's why I'm continuing to read it, and it really sparked my love for reading again. Because I'm like, what's going to happen? How is this story going to end now that a lot of things are different, and now that this character is missing, and this happened differently, but there's still, of course, some similarities. If the story was completely different, then it would just be Tangled inspired instead. But no, this is Tangled in a completely new written route, and I love it. But yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm literally 30% through this entire thing, so it's going to take me a while. I tend to only read whenever I go to bed, but I'm not starting Conceal Don't Feel until I finish this one, that's for sure. There are so many. Currently, there are 15 out right now, And then there's going to be 3 more coming out so far. That's what my sources are telling me. So I'm going to tell you all of them in order, and of course, I'm not going to tell you what's in them, but you can kind of figure out which ones are which. So this is the order of the books. A Whole New World, Aladdin. Once Upon a Dream, Sleeping Beauty. As Old as Time, Beauty and the Beast. Reflection, Mulan. Part of Your World, The Little Mermaid. Mirror, Mirror, Snow White. Conceal, Don't Feel, Frozen. Straight On Till Morning, Peter Pan. So This Is Love, Cinderella. Unbirthday, Alice in Wonderland. Go the Distance, Hercules. What Once Was Mine, Tangled. Almost There, The Princess and the Frog. When You Wish Upon a Star, Pinocchio. And then there's a What If, A Twisted Tale anthology that's coming out in October. Oh, When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio isn't even out yet. That one comes out April 4th, 2023. At least that's what my source says. It could be wrong. So that one's not even out yet. The most recent one is Almost There, The Princess and the Frog. So also, this is relatively recent too, somewhat. This one and Almost There are about a year apart. But the first one came out in 2015, and that explains why I felt like I found some of these books before, but I didn't realize. It's because I did. I just didn't pick them up, but gosh, are they good. I'm so mad that I never actually read them until now. The ones that I absolutely want is obviously Tangled and Conceal, Don't Feel. That's why I own them. I really want Unbirthday because it's Alice in Wonderland, and we obviously have an idea. I like Alice in Wonderland, so I want to get that one. That one's from September of 2020, so a year older than What Once Was Mine. And then I want Almost There, the Princess and the Frog one, because I love Princess and the Frog so much. Dr. Facilier is my favorite Disney villain of all time. I feel like I'm also pretty interested in the Beauty and the Beast one. I don't know why. I feel like that one's going to be pretty interesting to read because I have no idea how the story's going to go. So this one's What If is What If Belle's mother cursed the beast? Oh, and it's written by the same person that did What Once Was Mine. Liz Braswell. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But Liz, she wrote this one and she wrote As Old as Time. But I know not all of them are the same because Conceal Don't Feel has a different author. Frozen is What If Elsa and Anna Never Knew Each Other, which already intrigues me because in the first movie they're siblings. In the series they're siblings, so how would they not know each other? I gotta see the creative liberty that someone took. Unbirthday's tagline is What If Wonderland was in peril and Alice was very, very late? Written by Liz. So there's a different author for Frozen, but it looks like Tangled, Beauty and the Beast, and Alice in Wonderland are all written by the same person, but Conceal Don't Feel is written by Jen Kalanita. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but Jen Kalanita wrote the Frozen one. So I'm curious, why is there a different author for that one, but Liz wrote the other 3 that I'm looking at? Let's see. A Whole New World was written by Liz. Once Upon a Dream, Liz. Reflection, a different person. So Reflection was written by a different person too, not the original 2. Reflection was written by Elizabeth Lim, Lim. By the way, that What If is What If Mulan had to travel to the underworld. Yeah, that was written by a completely new person too. So why are they a bunch of different authors? I should probably read the anthology. Liz wrote Part of Your World. Mirror, Mirror is Jen, so Frozen's writer. Straight On Till Morning is Liz. So This Is Love is Elizabeth. So far I'm seeing 3 authors, 3 writers for this series. Go the Distance is Jen. Almost There is a completely different person. So now we have 4. I'm so sorry if I butcher these, but Farah, it's either Roshan or Rochan. I'm sorry if I'm messing that up. I'm really bad at that. But Almost There was written by another person. So there's 4 different authors. By the way, Almost There's What If is What If Tiana made a deal that changed everything? I want to read that one so bad. And then When You Wish Upon a Star is written by Elizabeth. So I guess it's just like a big group of people writing these twisted tales, but whatever they're doing, it's working because they're doing such a fantastic job at writing these stories. Now, ones that I want to see. There are 3 more supposedly coming out. There's an untitled book, 15, 16, and 17. 15, 16 supposedly this year, and then 17 next year. Possibly. It takes a long time to write a book, so I wouldn't blame them if it takes them a bit longer. But the ones that I would like to see Wreck-It Ralph get one. I know it's not really a princess movie, but I mean, she does turn into a princess, but then she becomes a president, you know. I would like to see a Wreck-It Ralph Twisted Tale because I have a feeling they could take that in a really good direction. I would really like to see them take Luca in another direction because I have an idea for that one. If they took Luca and made it a Twisted Tale, obviously, I feel like the more obvious point to take it is what if Luca and the sea monsters actually were like evil monsters? What if it was like that? But Luca was like different or something. Luca's like, why do we have to be evil? And then he starts to protect Italy and things like that. So something like that. That would be an interesting way to take Luca. I want to see a Brave one. I feel like Brave would be very good. Okay, it already has some darker elements. I mean, it's got like a killer bear and like protecting your family and things like that. So what if Merida got the bear cake instead of her mom? What if Merida, but like you could twist Brave, making it like super freaking cool. You can try and twist Enchanted, but I don't know how well that would work. But if someone comes up with a way, I'd read that in a heartbeat, absolutely. I know this probably will not happen, but can you imagine somebody twisting Cars? I don't even have any ideas, bro. Like, okay, no, that's a lie. What if I have one? What if they switch places? So, like, what if Mater was, like, the famous racer? Or what if Sally was the famous racer? And then McQueen, lived in Radiator Springs, but he used to be a racer, like Doc. Like Doc's perspective. Doc used to be a famous racer, and then he settled down and lived in Radiator Springs. What if McQueen did that instead, and Sally or Mater just appeared in Radiator Springs? I feel like that would be a pretty cool one. I'd read that in a heartbeat. You know, the second that book came out, I would buy it immediately. Be like, take my money. I want to read it. That's about all I got. That's where I'm going to leave it for right now. But there's definitely so many ideas, so there's no way this series is over just yet. This is gonna be awesome. So I would highly recommend you guys go check that out. Obviously, I don't think they have to like go in a certain order since I'm starting with Tangled, and that's like way down the line, because they're all independent stories, but they are all amazing. So please go check out those books because they are worth it. They are a good read. Staying on the subject of Disney, obviously, the title, the board, the whiteboard, all of it, we're going to be going into another segment of Fashion Forward. A brand that is widely known for Disney and other things, but mostly Disney, is Loungefly. Loungefly backpacks are incredible. I own 3. They're beautiful and they're very well made, and they are pretty expensive, but you're getting what you pay for, I guarantee it. There are so many designs. I'm putting all the pictures up here of all the cute ones that I found, because there's Alice in Wonderland. There's some Cars ones. There's Peter Pan. There's a ton of Mickey Mouse. And then, of course, the classic Disney princesses. The ones that I own are Dr. Facilier with a glow-in-the-dark face, and then the cards, like, whenever you move it, it changes pictures. I don't know. But that's Dr. Facilier's, and it's awesome, and it's my favorite. I have this Cars one that looks like the Cozy Cone Motel, and it's got Sally on the back of it. It's so cute. And it also glows in the dark. The sign will glow. I love this one so much, and there's even a matching wallet. And then the one that I am going to be showing you today is incredible, and I somehow found this in Spencer's. It also has a matching wallet. Let me grab it. Look at this, guys. Look at this bag. Alice in Wonderland book. It's even got like the little Cheshire Cat on the back, and it can either be a backpack or a crossbody, but this is the cool part. I picked it up thinking that it was like, this was where it would open. Look at this. Oh my god! It opens like an actual book, guys. Look at this. And it's got 2 pockets that are the pages, so like these are the pockets, and it's got pages from the story. And it's magnet shut and everything, and it's a good quality bag. It is so cute. Let's keep pictures of it up there for a second while we talk about it. I saw this bag hanging up in Spencer's, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Can I see it? I grab it, discovered that it was like actually like foldable like a book. It's time to go. I need to get this bag like right now. It's time to go. So I bought it immediately, and it is adorable. And like I said, it is a crossbody or a backpack. It has interchangeable straps. Personally, I prefer the crossbody because when you wear the backpack, it can get a bit awkward, but crossbody's perfect. And the pockets are a lot bigger than you think they would. Like, they fit my wallet, my keys, my glasses, all of it. So it definitely holds quite a bit. And then the other two I have are just like regular backpack shapes, but they are really good quality backpacks. Loungefly, please sponsor me because I love your stuff. But no, for real, definitely go get a Loungefly because they are so much fun. All right, kiddos, well, that's pretty much what we've got covered today. Of course, we still have quote of the day, but that's normally how we wrap up this episode. So let's just go ahead and get to our Disney quote of the day. Yes, even the quote is Disney themed, because of course it is, obviously. This is a Disney episode. You think we're going to do something else for the quote? No. This is coming from something that I referenced before. This is from Descendants. This is from the first one, and it doesn't sound very inspiring, but when you really dig deep into the meaning of it, and what kind of effect it can have, it's definitely a bit more heartfelt than you think. So let's go ahead and roll the clip because this quote comes from the original Descendants movie.
The future of the free world rests on your shoulders. Don't blow it.
The future of the free world rests on your shoulders. Don't blow it. Now, I know this seems a bit intense, but this quote really adds to Mal's character a lot, and it makes a lot of her behavior a bit more explainable, if that makes any sense. She's doing all of this evil stuff, not only because it's like in her DNA and that's what she does, but she's also really trying to get her mom to be proud of her. She wants to impress her mom. That explains why she does all of this stuff and why she's trying really hard and she's like super focused and stressed about like taking over Oridon and all of that. Because she's trying to impress her mother. Now I hear this quote and you would think it would be like, this has to teach you to defy your parents or whatever and not do what they say because they could be wrong. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this quote actually, like, it reminds me that you don't have to do a lot of stuff to impress people. You don't have to impress people. You can just do what you want for you. You dress how you want for you. How your hair looks for you. Your behavior, as long as it's not hurting anybody, for you. Like, just your personality, just a reminder that you are your own person and you don't need to impress anybody. And she learns that at the end of the movie. Sort of. We're not going to talk about the beginning of Descendants 2 because that kind of just, like, counteracts everything that I just said. But she learns a little bit that she doesn't have to impress her mother specifically. She doesn't have to impress her mom. In the beginning of Descendants 2, she thinks that she needs to impress the people of Oridon, and that spirals out of control. But not the point. She eventually learns that altogether. But I think, like, she doesn't need to impress her mom. She doesn't need to impress the other villains on the island. She learns that she found her home. It took a while and a little bit of fighting, but she found her home, and she found out that she likes it there. Alrighty, kiddos, well, that about wraps it up. Fun fact, I had to film this episode twice because the first one's audio was shot. Note to self, use the windscreen. It sounds way better. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this special Disney episode of Thinking Like a Taurus. You obviously read the title, Am I a Disney Adult? I don't know, maybe. I don't go to Disney parks very often, but other than that, I'm like obsessed with Disney, and I am an adult. Legally. So, mentally, not so much, but I think we all are there at some point. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this special episode of Thinking Like a Taurus. Please make sure you go check out my last video. I did a makeup inspired by Pride for a very important event that happened about 3 months ago. Please go watch it. I would highly recommend it. My tutorial isn't the best, but hey, we all learn. I mean, that's what matters the most, right? I already promoted it, but I'm doing it again. Guys, go check out Lavender's backstory, please. I worked really hard on that, and I'm trying to post as many videos as I can, and I want to turn this story into a full-length, like, series or something. I would like to make it a real story, so please go hype it up because it means a lot. If you get bored waiting for my next episode, you can go ahead and follow me on social media. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and now Twitter, all at Uni Cosplays. TikTok and Instagram are mainly for my cosplays. That's like a portfolio kind of deal. Snapchat is for behind the scenes stuff, so you can see my daily life or whatever. And then Twitter, I just kind of post random things. It's like a mini version of this Thinking Like a Taurus episode type of deal. It's like a mini version of Thinking Like a Taurus. I'll just post one random thought that comes to my brain every day. Or something that's happening in my life. It doesn't matter. Just I tweet once a day. And remember, kiddos, drink your water, eat your meals, get some good sleep, and I will see you in the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves so you don't sound as nasally as I do right now. Mwah! Love you! Thumbnail. Okay.